Today our discussion is obstacles in Samadhi. Wonderful thing. Every day, everyone faces the same thing. That obstacles in Samadhi. What are they? The need for vigilance is imperative at every step of the spiritual life. You should guard yourself. You should protect yourself. You should inquire. You should give a vigilance. Hmm. Nobody will give, at least in household life, the spiritual life. See, when we are in the Gurukul, I told you earlier also, you have heard about Gurukul, or I don't know anyone else was there in the Gurukul or not. In Gurukul, what happens? Guru and the others, they give it, they protect the student. Though in a student life, many 98% students, even spiritual students also, not only the hostel life, in spiritual life who came to uh, who joined in the mission to be a monastic member, to be a sadhu, even they also don't like this vigilance, because acharya always is protecting his own children, because who has walked in the path, he knows the obstacles and the hindrances of this path. What happens, what restricts us to reach the goal? Because achinoti shastranam iti acharya, acharya is he or she who studied Shastra, who lived Shastra, who realized Shastra. He is the Acharya. And he understands what is the problem, what is the hindrance to reach the goal. So he never cares that what his students blames behind him, what the bad words, critical word. Yes, it happens in spiritual organization also. Who does it, they never remain in the mission. That also different thing. But it happens. Big mission I have seen. The brahmacharis, the students are not happy with their acharya because he is very strict. He doesn't allow this one, he doesn't allow this one, he doesn't allow that one. And they used a lot of bad words. Sometimes they said, hidingly, our Acharya, what does he do? That sort of thing starts. They don't, वो लोग टिक नहीं पाते, दूसरी बात है, लेकिन everyone comes to be a sadhu na. That is the thing that I want to tell. So the need for vigilance is imperative in every step of the spiritual life. Obstacles beset beset the path until the goal is reached. Obstacle will be there. I'm sorry. Tomorrow we will discuss what is the goal. But here, roughly, being or knowing Brahman, being and becoming is our goal, not samadhi. Okay, not doing puja, not doing meditation, not staying hours after hours in the samadhi is not our aim or goal of spiritual life or God vision. A lot of people, I think in this class also, because in spiritual life, vision is a part and parcel. It's a very common thing. Who intensely do puja and worship and prayer, vision comes. May not come. It's not a hard and fast rule that uh, Bhagavan has to come and has to give the vision. It's not like that. But it happens. But this is also not the goal of spiritual life. Hmm? The higher the aspirant climbs, the subtler are the obstacles. In the down, like in our suppose poor person, their problem is yes, problem is problem, but gross problem. As long as you will go in the higher and higher classes of the society, you will see the problem is subtler. In a very big family, apparently it looked everyone is very happy. Subtle ego problem is there. He doesn't like her, she doesn't like him, like this. And why it happens, nobody knows. In spiritual life also, as much as you will grow, the obstacles will be subtler, but should be there. Obstacles should be there. Okay. So the thing is, the path has been described in the Upanishad as sharp as a razor's edge. The mantra Kshurasya dhara nishita durattaya durgam pathastvad kavayo vadanti. In which mantra it comes? Uttishtata jagrata prapya varana nivodhata Kshurasya dhara nishita duratvaya durgam pathastvat kavayo vadanti in Kathopanishad. So the thing is, this is the factor. Now the thing is, if he is inadvertent, he does not reach the goal and only injures himself. If he is inadvertent, I don't care. Are nothing will happen to me. This is a very small thing. Are this is very insignificant. Are kya hai? Sometimes it happens, in our spiritual life. If our seniors tells, আরে এটা করছিস কেন তুই এটা কর আরে আমার কিছু মানে একটা অদ্ভুত কেয়ারলেস ভাব very carelessness and nothing will happen and that person drowns first. अरे पानी में तो दम था पानी में तो दम था लेकिन कश्ती डूबा नहीं. लेकिन कश्ती जहां डूबा वहां पानी कहां था? It happens for the spiritual aspirant. So if anyone is inadvertent, he does not reach the goal and only injures himself. For those practicing meditation, Vedantic teachers state four great obstacles. They are torpidity, distraction, attachment, and enjoyment of bliss. I will uh, tell the Sanskrit word of that. Torpidity, distraction, attachment, and enjoyment of bliss. Laya, vikshepa, kashaya, and rasaswada. Okay. So the thing is torpidity, distraction, attachment, and enjoyment of bliss. If the mind does not succeed in being established in Brahman after it has been detached from the world, it often lapses into a state of sleep or torpidity. You know, sometimes we're doing japam, we think that we are doing japam. Repetition of, or in the name of meditation, what we do, we know. All right? In the name of meditation, and if it is in the morning, early morning, and very nice shawl is there, ah ha ha ha, what a wonderful. And in the background, there will be Om or Hare Krishna, anything. So beautiful meditation I did. I know. This is one of the obstacles in Samadhi or spiritual goal, that is called Laya, or torpidity. A kind of stagnation sets in. The aspirant is reluctant to make fresh efforts. His progress is slowed down. Clear? Next one, or the mind, unable to rest in Brahman after becoming detached from the world, may feel distracted. This is called vikshepa. Distracted or vikshepa by ideas. For the most part, petty, unconsequential, and insignificant. I have seen many persons, they're very wonderful aspirant they were. I don't know. Suddenly, due to past karma, they started thinking how there is only Brahman, how Jagat is mithya, all such thing, viparit bhavana, contradictory thinking suddenly comes. I have seen, believe me, those are not textual. My spiritual life has shown a lot of things. So that is why prayer is needed. That can't be avoided or overcome by our own power. God's power is needed. Clear? So in that case, how that comes, you don't know. In your life also you will find that in childhood or in middle age was what a wonderful day before yesterday. I met one family. The husband contacted me. Why? His wife was very, very pious, very devoted soul. And too much devotion, really. But suddenly something happened in their family, some mishap, and that lady has become totally atheist against of God. Just see, anything may happen in our spiritual life, we don't know. So the thing is, these have been described as the little, uh, what the English I will tell, imbecilities, you can tell. Little imbecilities. Imbecilities. Imbecilities of the mind. Their number is legion and they are fleeting in nature. They may be the result of the aspirants' futile talk or meaningless action in the past, even nowadays also. I sometimes deal with some aspirants are there, unnecessarily. Either they are in the mobile, they are seeing something different, their action is something, and they don't care. And if anyone noted that, hey, why are you doing it? They become angry. But in the mouth or in public, they want to say that I am the brahmachari, I want to be a sadhu, I want to live. But the action is sometimes completely opposite. For them, Samadhi is not possible. Not possible. This is the biggest, obstacles in our life. So they make him restless, chanchal, sometimes unable to reach Brahman and detached from the world. They don't live with their parents, with not their brothers. They're detached from the family. See, detachment from the family doesn't make a person sadhu. Believe me. If it was that if anyone stays with, any aspirant stays with his parents for any purpose, and he is not a sadhu, then Sri Ram Krishna is not a sadhu. Swami Vivekananda is not a sadhu, Swami. You read his life. After returning from America, Swami Vivekananda vigorously made a trip along whole India with his mother. Under whom I studied. Believe me, in my whole life, I have never seen such acharyas. His parents used to, he is a Swami. He is a Swami, completely Swami, back and forth Swami. But he used to live with his parents. And there was some reasons. So some reasons were there, that different issue. So the thing is detachment. A lot of people nowadays who are attending the class also, They have left their parents, they have left their country, they have left their all family members, but it doesn't mean that they have become a Swami. It's something different mission, different vision, different thinking process. Clear? So the thing is, they are unable to reach Brahman though they are detached from the world. The aspirant exaggerates a particular emotion or feeling which is unsequential in itself. छोटा छोटा कोई कोई मामूली चीज को लेकर ऐसे बढ़ा देता है जो साधन लाइफ के लिए एकदम भी अनुकूल नहीं है. इट्स नॉट इन फेवर ऑफ साधन लाइफ, but unnecessarily childishness. They, become detached from the spiritual path and thus creates an obstruction to spiritual life. Clear? Or his mind unable to rest in Brahman, third option I'm discussing. Or his mind unable to rest in Brahman, yet detached from the world, may suddenly be seized by a violent attachment, kashaya, to a long forgotten experience. Like Raja Bharata. For attachment, you don't need a beautiful woman. You don't need a big palace. You don't need a costly car. You don't need anything else. You may be attached with your, any insignificant thing. It may be burnt matchstick also. One story is there, a kaupin ke vaste. There was a Swami. His guru told that you will be only in the special spiritual underwear. Otherwise, how should I translate it? Kaupina. So what he will do? He started doing sadhana with only kaupina. But there were a lot of rats, lot of rats. So they started cutting the underwear. So the purpose of the underwear was not serving. So he thought that if I pet a cat, then the cat will eat the rat. He started petting a cat. Okay. Cat needs milk. How it is possible? Then he started petting cows, go mata. हर दिन पूजा भी लगाता है. But fodder is required, food is required for the things. So how is it possible? So in some land, they started growing something else. But animals, swabhava, nature, their progeny is there, procuring progeny is there. So their numbers started getting bigger. So it was not manageable for the Swami. So he started keeping staff, only male staff, no female are allowed. How long? Some work was there. If the staff goes, one staff, then he allowed wife. Then if staff comes with his wife, then they are not allowed in the ashram, so they need some separate place. So they need houses. And in this way, a big state has been formed. And after a few years, Guru came to meet his disciple and saw that the Swami is seated with a chopri khata, and he is writing all the calculations. Oh, rice, this, atta, this, milk, एक कौपिन के वास्ते हम लोग माँ बहन सब छोड़ के आते हैं, हर दूसरे माँ पाता लेता है और उसके लिए इमोशंस क्रिएट करता है और अपना साधना खराब कर देता है. इन स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ इट हैपेंस. Spiritual sister, spiritual mother, and becomes so much attached with them as if more than our own mother, and creates all such samsari, all those things. This is another obstacles in our life. So, yet he is attached from the world may suddenly be seized by violent attachment and forgotten the experience. So this is called kashaya. So this desire suddenly resurrected. Resurrection, you know, for the Jesus Christ it happens. Resurrected from the subconscious mind, agitates him like a gust of wind tossing a boat lying at anchor on the water. Boat में anchor है, but a lot of storm has come. What will happen? For the aspirant, this thing happens. Now the fourth one, rasa swadanam. What is that? Or his mind, unable to rest in Brahman, yet detached from the world, may feel quite satisfied with the enjoyment of an inferior bliss. छोटा छोटा आनंद में मस्त रहता है. Okay. So a forecast of the bliss of Brahman, maybe that is, and be then unwilling to make any further effort to reach the goal. As a result of self-control and meditation, he may be rewarded by vision and ecstasis. Some darshan, some samadhi, बीच में हो सकता है, which are only milestones on this path. The unwary devotee takes these secondary experiences for the real thing and remains absorbed in their enjoyment. Sometimes he may become so engrossed in the bliss of savikalpaka samadhi. Please remember, I'm talking about a higher stage aspirant. सविकल्प समाधि में इतना मस्त रहता है that he refuses to give it up and plunge into all annihilating experience of the great beyond. He refuses the nirvikalpaka samadhi. It may also happen that the aspirant in pursuit of his spiritual ideal is challenged by the stubborn and importunate craving of a particular sense organ. Anything. किसी को प्रकृति देखना पसंद है, किसी को वो करना, ये particular sense organs. Okay, so the thing is, it may also happen that the aspirant I told in the pursuit of his spiritual ideal is challenged by the stubborn and importunate craving of a particular sense organs. He puts up a heroic fight against the enemy. When at last he wins, he feels so happy at his success that he totally gives him up to the enjoyment of this triumph. लड़ते 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 जब लड़ाई में जीत आता है तो भूल जाता है किस लिए लड़ रहा हूं. He forgets that he had set out to realize Brahman. Vedantic teachers illustrate this by the story of a man who wanted to lay hold of a treasure buried under a tree and jealously guarded day and night by a powerful dragon. As he came near the tree, the dragon challenged him. A vicious and protracted battle ensued. Ultimately, the dragon was destroyed, but the man beside himself, with joy at his triumph over his enemy, danced around the tree, forgetting altogether the pot of treasure. That happens. That happens in our life.